infrastructure, digital connection also, and due to our strength that we have in the country, due to the connectivity that we have, due to that we have a low prices in terms of energy, we think that we can be a small competitor in this global market. So we think that this strategy could put Andorra like a player in this global economy.
I gather you've introduced elements of esports into your education system. My kids would love that.
Yeah, it will not be easier. We are going to start out the schedule during the school, but after the school they are starting to play and to teach and to compete. But after that, we are realizing and understanding that there are many values through esports that could be learned and teach that later on can be used in some other sectors like cybersecurity, all the industry in terms of audiovisual programming. So there are many opportunities that we can teach through esports. We are not to start very quick in terms of our educational plan, even though this is an issue that we have in our strategical plan, but we have to work very closely with the Ministry of Education, how we can put this issue in our national system. But will we do it? We will try it in the midterm, and we start next period, starting with some projects outside the timetable of students.
Now, previously, Andorra had a reputation of something of a tax haven. How much did giving up that status hurt the economy?
Yeah, it was a figure, it was an image that we had in the past, but after all the commitments that we have achieved in the last years regarding the huge number of double taxation agreements with several countries, we are fully compliant with all the issues and the obligations that we have in terms of European Union and OCDE. So we are fully compliant. We have a tax system that is very competitive, but it's homologated. So we want to use this leverage, actually, but not this one only. So this is the reason why when we try to explain how we are boosting the process of diversification of our model, we can use this tax competitive model that we have, but it's not the only thing that we can offer to investors and to companies that they can realize that Andorra could be a place in which they can invest.
Now, another big initiative that you've got underway is that you want to build a light rail system to try and ease traffic congestion. How long will that take to build?
Well, we are analyzing right now the cable transportation that could be an easy way, and in terms of impact in our environment, could be lesser impact than roads and tunnels and maybe an airport that we was analyzing in the past. And it is true that in 7 years we are going to have a problem in terms of mobility, not only Andorra, many countries, but for us the target is to change this model of mobility inside the country, because we are living 7,000 people in the country, but at the end of the year, close to 8 million people visit Andorra, and they use especially car because it's the only way to arrive to the country. So we have this challenge. So actually, we are analyzing this cable transportation inside the country and the trainway. And in terms of connectivity with our neighbors, friends in Spain, for sure we have in mind this option to be connected by train. That could be an easy way and less impact also than the road. And we are working with this connectivity in terms of an airport that we have 10 kilometers far from the border, and that we have connectivity since December with Madrid. And one of the reasons that I was in London last week was to try to connect this airport with London City in order to facilitate the way that people from Britain, from London, can come to the country.
Well, I hope to pay a visit soon if you can get that up and running. Minister, thanks very much for joining me today. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, the better than expected employment data, with the jobless rate hitting a 48-year low and the number of job vacancies exceeding the number of people out of work for the first time on record, has given the pound a lift on the foreign exchange markets. Sterling is currently up by 1 1/3 against the US dollar. It's up by nearly 0.9%. Meanwhile, against the euro, the market's starting to think that there may be another interest rate rise on the back of these very strong jobs figures. Well, on the equity market, stocks in the Asia Pacific region had a positive session overnight on hopes that China may soon lift its lockdown restrictions. There were gains in each of Tokyo, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Mumbai and in Sydney. Well, that fact has also given European stocks a lift since the opening. Here's the current picture. All of the main indices in Europe up by around a 1 1/4 to 1.5% higher. Talking points in Europe this morning include Daimler Truck, which is up by more than 5% in Frankfurt on news of record orders. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is also in positive territory, currently some 52 points to the good, up just over 2/3 of 1% higher, thanks to gains for the oil and mining heavyweights. In percentage terms, the leading gainer is Imperial Brands. Mentioned them a little earlier. Look at that. The shares are up 7% now on its results today, while the Irish Support Services Group, DCC, the shares there ahead by some 3.5% following a trading update. On the downside, well, Vodafone is the leading faller. Those results really not cutting much mustard with the market. There are shares off 1/4%. Now they were up. They were down much more sharply earlier on in the session. The retailer Next is also down by 1%. That is on broker comment. Outside the FTSE, Magnus cider maker C&C Group, the shares there are up 8% on an upbeat trading statement, but TI Fluid Systems is down by some 13%, and that is on disappointing quarterly results. Look at that, the shares off nearly 17% right now. Meanwhile, the oil price, well, that is slightly higher this morning, following hopes of an end to Chinese lockdowns. A barrel of Brent crude will currently cost you $114.78 a barrel. That is up just under half of 1%. Well, joining me now is James Hughes. He's Chief Markets Analyst at Scope Markets. James, morning to you. I mean, sterling really has popped on these jobs numbers, hasn't it?
Morning, Ian. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really has seen quite a nice jump. And of course, you look at these numbers. On the face of it, they're fantastic. The lowest unemployment rate we've seen for 48 years is, of course, always going to garner pretty good headlines. I mean, I think one of the key things in there is those wage numbers as well. With inflation being such a key talking point, and we've got those numbers later in the week, that we need to see wages going the right way. This wage growth has hit 7%, but I think what's not as positive within there is that if you exclude the bonus numbers there, that it's only ticked higher to that 4.2%. So much lower if you exclude those bonuses. We know a lot of those bonuses in other jobs kind of inflate those other numbers, which is why they get separated out. But I mean, the fact that unemployment is low is of course key. But with that wage growth being just at 4.2%, and if you look at what we expect from these inflation numbers when they come out later this week, we're expecting that jump. The expected number is a crazily high 9.1% for potential UK inflation this week. So, we really need those wages to move higher. But for now, for today, yep, those wage growth, the wage growth is there. Unemployment is falling, and it's really helped the pound.
Absolutely. I mean, on that basis, is it time to talk about the Bank of England making it 5 consecutive rate rises?
Well, this is tough, isn't it? I mean, this is a situation. We heard Andrew Bailey yesterday talking about the cost of living crisis and continuously talking about food price inflation, the fact that food is stuck in Ukraine, it can't come out. This is I think his words were, this is not just a problem for the Western world. This is almost a global issue with food price inflation. Now, if you look at that situation, we already talk in the UK about the fact people are having to choose between heating and food. Yes, that eases into the summer months, but of course we know this is going to be ongoing. So raising rates again only increases that cost of living problem. But the issue that we have is that if the economy does suffer and there is a recession on the cards, as Andrew Bailey keeps telling us, what the Bank of England need is they need bullets in the gun. That's what they need. They need those rates higher, really not necessarily to tackle that inflation. Of course, they do need to tackle inflation. But if the economy does go into recession, and if we get into a situation where we're in consecutive months of negative growth, the Bank of England will need to act on that. And the only way they act on that, as we know over recent years, is they cut interest rates. And if interest rates are at record lows, They can't do that. So interest rates have to go up, yes, to tackle inflation, but mainly they need to go up that if we get into recession and the economy is struggling, they need bullets in the gun to be able to fire to get it under control again.
Absolutely. James, got to leave it there. Good to see you again. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
Well, still to come here this morning, how the deposit return scheme for drink containers could transform the UK's recycling record. Don't go away.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of digging
Darkness.
the hole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and intact? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination intact. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Body, it's your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker, Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
all around the world. In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile. If you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you're listening to Starr Radio UK and
Radio UK.
Coming home. Sometimes it's hard. The journey is lonely. Tuesday night. My friends become my enemies. But you said something I miss so much. Oh, coming home. Oh, coming home. My red children for the road.
Oh yes, once again, massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. The premise by CC Bedu. What are you going through this morning? What are the challenges that you seem to be facing? Have you lost all hope, as we were discussing yesterday, and I was saying on air that I think that when it comes to Africa, me have given up. I remember my colleagues say that, oh no, don't give up. So let's keep on keeping on. So whatever it is that you might be going through, whatever the challenges is, one way or the other, God is able to come through and work things out for you. So once again, I welcome you to the program. Today is Tuesday, the 17th day of May, the year 2022, with the time now exactly 10:47 from the House of London. My apologies for the late start of the program. Well, a sunny day. Therefore, coming into the studio, there was lots of traffic on the road. Normally, it takes us less than 10 minutes from one point to the other, but now it took us more than almost 30 minutes due to some road work that is going on, of course. But I want to welcome you all to today's program. To my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olaimi Koiki, Kojo D, wherever you all are, gentlemen, massive good morning to you. To all the presenters on Star Radio, I salute you as well. Jacino, Amaya, and all you wonderful people who listen to us from across the globe. Sometimes it's hard. Thank you very much for joining us. Tuesday night, my friends become my enemies. But so from now till 1 o'clock, if it's the first time of tuning in to listen or watch us, this is how the program goes. I'll bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast, and the travel update as well. I'll move on to looking at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. And then we continue from then at 11 o'clock exactly to bring you updates from Nigeria. Then at 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions wherever you might be. Then at 1 o'clock, we bring the curtains down for the end of the program. So in the gist, that is what is going to be happening today. So good morning to Pastor, Lady Pastor Theodora in Oxfordshire, Delegate Church. Salute each and every one of you there as well. Friends become my enemies, but you said something of coming home. But I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
The journey feels lonely. Tuesday night, my friends become my enemies. But you said something of so much. We're coming home. We're coming home. Okay, so let's move on to the quote for the day. It says, opportunity is either created or identified. Opportunity is either created or identified. So what are you doing this morning? Are you watching? Are you trying to spot it? or you are one of the ones who always just that opportunity is passing you by. Okay. Now let's move on straight to the weather front. To the weather front for London and the sides of England today, this is how the weather is going to be for you. We're going to be having it will be dry and warm with sunny sunshine through much of the day. Towards the evening, cloud will begin to push in from the west with a few heavy and potentially thundery showers developing. By this evening, any showers will soon clear away to the east. Overnight, it will become dry and prolonged clear spells with just the odd patch of cloud around by dawn. Top temperature is going to be 25 degrees. The lowest is going to be 13 degrees. Pollen level is going to be moderate. UV level is going to be moderate, and pollution is going to be low. So that brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you today. Don't you worry, I'll bring you the rest of this song in a moment. But for now, let's take a quick commercial break so I can bring you the travel update. Stay tuned and don't you go away.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road. Anything that you will never do. Keep your eyes on the road. Check it out.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. I will keep you navigated. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40. It's now gone, what, 10:53? So what is happening on the travels this morning? Well, on the underground, apart from the Victoria line, that's got minor delays due to they fixed a customer incident on the line. All the others have got good service. TFL Rail, DLR, London Tram Link, London Overground, good service there as well. Now let's move on straight to the major roads in London, the A roads. Now A12, A2, A20, A316, A4, Central London Red routes have all got closures. South Circular A205 has also got closures there, so check before you leave if you are traveling via any of those routes. Now on the river bus, apart from the Woolwich Ferry, that is got special service, all the others good service. On the final segment of the travel update, that's the National Rail. On the National Rail, the First Transparent Express has got special service, Mercy Rail special service, and Southeastern minor delays. So once again, I will say it. Well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Continue to listen to us or watch us, but keep your eyes on the roads.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The hole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world in a just. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
All right, fire on the mountain. It is Starr Radio UK. 3 minutes to the top of the hour. The time. Let me say good morning to Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, man of God. And thank you very much for joining us. If you're listening to us this morning, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. As I did announce yesterday, we will not be having Mr. Olaimi Kweke for this week because he's working on a project that, God willing, next week we will be airing it live unto you. So continue to stay tuned. But he sent me all the stories that I have to bring or put across this morning when it comes to the updates from Nigeria. But for now, we have to go global trotting. Let's go global trotting. Some of the stories that I'll be looking at from the Nigerian updates. Man renounces studentship of ABU over murder of Deborah. That's a story that's making the round. In Anambra, Imo Delta boil as gunmen strike on 4 locations, abducts some people. The EFCC arrest Accountant General of Federation over alleged 80 billion naira fraud. Now, he who goes to okay, let me just. He who goes to equity must go with a clean hand. But is it? Okay, it's alleged. So we'll come to that. We'll bring you more details about that. Attention as IPOB moves to enforce sit-at-home order in Asaba. Those are some of the stories that I'll be bringing your way. But wherever you are, stay tuned and don't you think of going away. But when it comes to some of the stories making the rounds in Ghana, Fix the Country movement Oliver Baka Vamao reportedly arrested again. He has been re-arrested. What is all that about? Well, we'll be bringing you more on that front. The other time he came on air, he published a statement saying that he is never called for a coup d'etat per se, because even the soldiers cannot be trusted. But, well, he's been re-arrested. For what charges? Is it still because of the treason or what? NDC registration. Join us. Let's build together the 4 Who's new members. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Duncan Williams, a blessing to the world, Mahama says. Those are some of the stories making the rounds in Ghana. Now let's move on straight to some other stories making the rounds on the African continent. And Mali blames Western nation for failed coup attempt. Okay, was there a coup d'etat back there, and who was behind it? Well, Mali is blaming them. This is one of the stories. Mali late on Monday announced that the security forces had thwarted a counter-coup attempt that it said was supported by an unnamed Western government. The announcement was the latest turmoil to unfold in the West African nation, where Colonel Assimi Goïta led coup in 2020 and 2021 before becoming president. These soldiers were supported by Western states, said government spokesperson Colonel Abdullahi Maiga on state television. We'll bring you more on that front when we bring you details of the stories making the rounds. In other parts of the world, fighters leave as Ukraine ends Mariupol steelworks defense. Ukraine says the combat mission of its final stronghold in Mariupol is over, but more troops need to get out. Now, are there going to be prisoner exchange program going to go on so that they can get these people who will want to be in the hands of Ukrainians rather than be in the hands of Russians? Well, apparently, they've been taken to hospitals in the Russian control areas in the east. Well, we'll be looking more into that. And Turkey could block Finland and Sweden NATO bids. Now, Turkey's President Erdogan accused the Nordic nations of harboring terrorists wanted by Ankara. Well, we're bringing you more on that front. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. When it comes to personnel, the military, when it comes to NATO, Turkey has got, most of them, the standing force, are from Turkey. Well, so maybe they're saying that we're not going to allow you to join in. You've got people that we are looking for. Bring them to us. Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Job vacancies outpace unemployment for the first time. The unemployment rate falls to its lowest level for nearly 50 years between January and March. But the question is, whatever people are earning, would that suffice them? With all these bills and all the hikes in energy prices, we're bringing you more on that. Now, trust to set out plans on Northern Ireland trade deal. The Prime Minister said an insurance policy was needed to fix the protocol after meeting parties in Belfast. What is going to happen on that front? Well, we are all waiting to see what will take place. And then US agrees to ease Trump-era sanction on Cuba. Under the new rules, more travel will be permitted to the island and visa processing will speed up. Well, at least easing it. But if Biden is no more there, what is going to happen? Assuming they go for the election and maybe a Republican wins, is that going to be a turnaround once again? So they move on today, different thing, tomorrow, different thing. What do you think? Okay, and Biden approves return of U.S. troops to Somalia. It reverses a decision by his predecessor Donald Trump to withdraw some 700 troops from the country. Why are they going there? For what purpose? And that is why Trump decided to bring them back, because they think that they are not fighting any cause that is of interest to them. So he thinks that it's better, or it will be better for them to come back to the U.S. Well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. More stories going to be coming your way. Stay tuned and don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Enjoy the rest of this song. As I said, I promise. Yeah.
Can I see you snap like that, everybody? Come on.
Worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
You are listening to Starr Radio UK.
your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio.
What you said, Samina Mosuba, we're coming home, we're coming home. Sometimes it's
Are you ready to turn it up?
The journey is
Favorite Afro-Caribbean radio station.
My friends become my enemies. What you said,
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio.
Well, let me say good morning to all the presenters of Starr Radio UK. And this afternoon, exactly at 1:30, we'll bring you BB Means Business with BB Clement. It's a program that comes your way every Tuesday and it's repeated on Thursdays. So Tuesday is at 1:30, it comes your way, and then Thursday at 6 p.m., 18 hours, comes your way and repeats one as well. But this evening as well, exactly at 8 o'clock, Simone Frazier will be coming your way with the CEO program. So make a date with her. But it's All Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So playing in the background, something from CC Bedu, my comforter, my protector, my redeemer, my God. As I did say earlier on, if you find yourself in any problem and any challenges that seem unsurmountable, keep on keeping on. So you've got God behind you. He watches over you. Let me say good morning to Anthony Adedeji. Hello, gentlemen. How are you? God says that is what he would do. Okay, now it's now time for us to go to updates from Nigeria. That's what's happening. And as I say all the time, if there have any stories making the rounds in your area you want to share with us, feel free to share with us, and I promise to share with all the other listeners across the globe, from weather to traffic, whichever it is, and to current issues going on in your area. Because we are a worldwide radio station, and therefore we have viewers and listeners from across the globe. So make sure you feel free, do that, and I promise you I'm going to acknowledge you. Okay? Yes. But now it's time for updates from Nigeria, coming up at a later time of exactly more 10 minutes after 11. Okay? Now, a man has renounced studentship of Abu over murder of Deborah. Now, the story says a postgraduate student of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Kaduna State, Oyeniyi Oyewole Iwakun, has renounced his studentship of the university over the murder of Deborah Samuel, a student of the Shehu Shagari College of Education. Now, Iwakon, in a letter addressed to the Vice Chancellor of Abu, dated May 13, 2022, said he no longer feels safe being a student of the university. He also said he was withdrawing to protest the murder of Deborah. In a quote, he said, I, Onyenenyi Oyewole Iwakon, a political science postgraduate student with admission number, blah, 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 which is to inform you of my decision to renounce my studentship at the Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria. Now, he says, this decision is in protest of the gruesome murder of an innocent 200-level student, Miss Deborah Samuel of Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto, on Thursday, the 12th of May 2022, by some uncultured and evil-minded religious extremists. Now, he said, it goes on further to say, I opine that no matter her offense, nothing justifies the action of her murderers. More worrisome, as shown in the online video in circulation on the social media, is the supervised and organized manner of her killing and cremation in a broad daylight. Well, that is the stance of somebody who thinks that whatever was meted out to Deborah Samuels was unjustified, and therefore thinks that he is denouncing or renouncing his admission to a university. Now, how many people have been able to actually, let me use this phrase, have the balls to actually make their stance heard? We have political leaders from the various parts. We have Atiko Abubakar, who puts it. He said he wasn't the one, but if that comment was posted, why are they saying that? Well, he said I wasn't the one who posted it, so I made them pull it down, because there was a backlash from the northern support who said we will not support you when it comes to that. So what do you think about all that? Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 12 minutes past the top of the hour. Updates from Nigeria, so coming your way. Anambra, Imo, Delta, as gunmen strike on 4 locations, abduct lawmaker and kill vigilante. The story says, as police kill 2 gunmen enforcing sit-at-home order. Okay, the details of that story is not up yet, but just bear with me. I'm trying to see whether I can get a detail of that story, but it's a story I seem to be eluding me. Okay. As resident of Anambra State, we're still weighing in on the likely impact of Governor Chukwuma Solodo's weekend visit to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu. Gunmen struck in 3 locations in parts of the state yesterday. The attack put fear on the people, who apparently thought that the governor's visit might end yesterday's sit at home, but it did not, as gunmen struck at the Ogidi headquarters of the Idemili, not local government area, the military checkpoint at the Highbrow 3-3 housing estate in Onitsha, and at the Eke Oku in Agota local government area. However, the Anambra State Police Command yesterday killed 2 gunmen allegedly enforcing Monday's sit-at-home order, despite its cancellation by the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra. In a related development, the Imo State Police Command said 6 suspected members of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, were killed yesterday on their way to attack the palace of the Imo State chairman of the traditional rulers, Ise Emmanuel Okeke, in Amefeke community in the Olu local government area of Imo State. Now, the story says at Eke Oko, where the gunmen struck, an identified middle-aged man wearing a police vest with the inscription "Say No to Crime" and riding on a motorcycle was shot dead by unknown person. Now, some people in the area said the victim might actually not be a policeman, especially as the state police public relations officer, Mr. Tochukwu in Kenga said there was no report of the death of any policeman in the area. The victim's motorcycle was still lying beside him as people tried to identify who he is. Also, in the early hours of yesterday, a section of the Idemili North local government area headquarters, Ogidi, was also set ablaze by unknown arsonists. It's all coming away from Star Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria. Now, let's move on to some other stories still pertaining to the IPOB as well. Tensions as IPOB moves to enforce stay-at-home order in Asaba. Now, the story says, just bear with me, tensions on Monday enveloped parts of Asaba, Delta State, following an attempt to enforce a stay-at-home order by persons believed to be adherents of indigenous people of Biafra. IPOB, the development led to the closure of schools in Okwe, Bonzak, Oko, Ekwoboro, Odeke, Osadenis in the Asaba metropolis are considered the base of the secessionist elements. Now, for fear of the unknown, the popular Ogbongonogo market did not open for business until about noon, but owners were seen around but did not open for business. A dependable source said some parents in the affected areas were called by teachers to come and pick up their children from school. Okay? But in relation to the story, IPOB has said they are not responsible for killings said at home in Southeast. Nnamdi Kanu tells Solodu, who visited him yesterday. The source said one person was killed as a result of an indiscriminate shooting of Bonzak, lamenting that the development heightened the tension in the capital city. The source said they said the people IPOB entered basic school and asked the people to go home. No single people received lectures in the school today. Meanwhile, the state government has asked security agencies to deal with anyone caught trying to enforce the sit-at-home order in Asaba. The state government, in a statement issued later on Monday by the secretary to the state government, Chief Patrick Uka, assured of the security of lives and prosperity of residents. The police public relations officer in the state, DSP Bright Edefe, when contacted, said the command was not aware of the killing, saying the command drafted personnel to all nooks and crannies of the state to provide security to the people. Edafe told residents of Asaba to go about their normal business. He enjoined them to disregard the stay-at-home order by the proscribed IPOB, adding that police were in total control of the situation. Is that what was happening on the ground? Well, these are all coming away from Star Radio UK. But in the story that I did bring about earlier on, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has described killings of innocent people, destruction and unlawful restrictions of movement in the southeast as senseless, insisting such heinous acts are perpetrated by groups masquerading as IPOB to give the struggle about identity. Nnamdi Kanu said this when the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo, paid him a visit at the detention facility of the Department of State Services, that's the DSS. Now he goes on further to say Soludo described Nnamdi Kanu as being in high spirits while the visit lasted. Well, and he goes on further to Nnamdi Kanu went on further to say he's seeking they should seek political solution to end the southeast unrest. Now, what do you think? Okay, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right then. Okay, just trying to finish with all the updates from Nigeria before we take a break. 19 minutes past the top of the hour. Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, Oshimole is suffering from PTSD. Fayemi fires former APC chairman over rigging allegation. The governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, has condemned the former national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Adam Oshimole, for claiming he once asked him to rig an election in his favor. The presidential aspirant claimed that Oshimole is still suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder following his removal as chairman of the APC. Now, Fayemi called on the public to disregard the allegation of Oshimole, which he made on national television. The Ekiti State Governor, in a statement released through his spokesman, Yinka Oyebode, further stated that he has no reason to approach Comrade Oshimole for favors for any election. The statement read, the allegation which was made on national television is not only false, puerile, and laughable, it is a figment of the imagination of the former APC chairman, as Governor Fayemi has never asked Oshimole to rig an election for him or any other person and never had any reason to ask for such. Now, members of the public are therefore urged to disregard the allegation by Comrade Oshimole, who apparently is still experiencing a post-traumatic stress disorder on account of his removal as chairman of the APC. It is on record that Dr. Fayemi was not responsible for Comrade Oshimole's removal as chairman of the APC. He has his ward executives and the cause to blame for that. The Ekiti State Governor has always considered Comrade Oshimole a friend and political associate, even if they had fundamental differences over his kangaroo approach of disqualifying Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State from the APC primaries and his unconscionable autocratic management of party affairs whilst he was chairman of the party. In a quote, for the avoidance of doubt, Governor Fayemi has no reason to approach Comrade Oshimole for favors for any election. Governor Fayemi has a stellar track record of being a consummate Democrat, even in difficult times. Now, many Nigerians can easily recall his historic concession speech in 2014 in an election that was clearly lost to electoral sleight of hand at the behest of the then People's Democratic Party, that's the PDP-led federal government. This all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria as I've been instructed or posted to me by Mr. Olayomi Koike. Reactioners police confirm arrest of suspect who lane sound engineer. The story says that police in Lagos State have arrested 4 persons who allegedly carried out jungle justice on one David Imo, 38, at Lekki Face, one area of the state. The police public relations officer in Lagos State, SP Benjamin Handiyeni, confirmed the arrest on Sunday. He said the incident happened on May 12, 2022. 4 persons were arrested same day in connection with the act. We are on trial on the trail, my apologies, of the 5th person now at large. The victim is Sunday Imo, 38-year-old. The suspect will be prosecuted when arrested. We will make sure they are fully prosecuted, so they will serve as a deterrent to others. According to the PPRO, jungle justice is not allowed in Lagos State. He warned the members of the public to guide against it. Don't take the law into your hands, he warned. None had earlier gathered that the victim was beaten by some suspected commercial motorcyclists operating within the Lekki Face one area over disagreement on 100 naira balance. Because of 100 naira, you kill somebody to ruin your life? Well, in reaction to that, the wife of the man the sound engineer who was murdered, the widow of Sunday David Umo, the 37 or 38-year-old sound engineer who was lamed and burnt by irate motorcycle operators at Admiralty Way, Lekki on Thursday evening, has called on the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alabi, to fish out his killers. Now, recall that late Sunday, David Umo, a member of Legacy 360 band, was lamed and set ablaze. It goes on to say it was learned that that Sunday David Umo met his death while attempting to mediate between his colleagues Philip Balogun and Frank and a bike rider who were arguing over 100 naira, which snowballed into a mob attack. Now, Philip Balogun and Frank are still lying unconscious in the hospital. Wow. Speaking this morning, yesterday, late Sunday, David 36-year-old widow Grace Bolu said she was yet to believe that her husband was gone. The mother of two, who works at Ejede LCDA as a senior technical officer, mechanical and infrastructure department, said, "My husband was not part of those that boarded the bike." So how come he was late? The two musicians were the ones who boarded the commercial bike. One of them plays for Final, while the other plays for the Bunch. Now they boarded the bike and agreed to pay 400 naira on getting to their destination at the beer bar along Admiralty Way, Lekki. They gave the bike man 500. However, the commercial motorcyclist said he didn't have 100 naira change to give them, and they got into an argument. Well, very, very sad one from there, but it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. One final story, and then we'll bring the updates from Nigeria to a close. It's now gone 11:26. Now, the EFCC have arrested the Accountant General of the Federation over alleged 80 billion naira fraud. Interesting. The EFCC operatives have arrested the Accountant General of the Federation, Mr. Ahmed Idris, over alleged diversion and laundering of 80 billion naira. Mr. Wilson Owajaren, head of the media and public relations of the EFCC, made the declaration on Monday in Abuja. Well, he stated that verified intelligence reports show that Idris raked off the funds through bogus consultancies and other illegal activities using proxies, family members, and close associates. Now, Owajaren added that the funds were laundered through real estate investment in Kano and in Abuja. He explained that Idris was arrested after he failed to honor invitations by the EFCC to respond to issues connected to the fraudulent act. Now, what is going to happen there is what we'll be following very, very closely. Is it not a government appointment? Is it not Buhari who appointed him? So what is going to happen on that front? This is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. He who goes to equity must go with a clean hand. Is that what we're saying? Well, this is Africa for you. We'll take a commercial break. I'll bring you some music and we'll continue with the program. Stay tuned and don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Well, welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. Let me say good morning to Abi Osei. Yes, sis. I hope you are doing very, very well and work is good. I'm doing well here as well. and regards to all the family back in the US as well, and all those of you listening to us on other parts of the world. But I brought you this song to sum up what has happened in the federal capital, where the accountant general himself has managed to swindle up to what, 80 billion naira. Well, the question is, where is the dollar by the Zongo Man? Enjoy it, and I'll be with you in a moment.
And one man who gets, hey, hey, hey.
on your smartphone.
Give gorilla bananas to give to monkey. Hey, hey, hey. Give gorilla bananas to give to monkey. Yes, as you know.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world.
Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Okay, so that is from the Zunga man himself. And the question is, where is the dollar? Where would our Accountant General tell us the dollars are? The monies that he's alleged to have squandered or laundered, whichever he might have done. Where is the money? Where is the money? Well, that will be an interesting one. The EFCC is saying that they invited him several times and he failed, and they decided to just snoop in and just pick him up. Well, if you have any comments pertaining to what is happening in Nigeria, feel free and share with us. Feel free to share with us. But it is all Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's go straight to Ghana, where some of the stories making the rounds there I'm going to be bringing your way. Okay. There are interesting stories from Ghana that I'm going to bring your way, as I said. Now, first and foremost, Oliver Barker-Vamawo has been rearrested on his way to court. Interestingly, Ghana, those things do happen, The Fix the Country convener Oliver Barker-Vamawo has been rearrested by the Ghana police on his way to the Tema High Court this morning. His lawyer confirmed the rearrest. Now, there are claims his arrest may be in connection with his latest comments on social media about the governance of the country. On March 16, Oliver was granted bail by the Tema High Court in the sum of 2 million Ghana cedis with 2 sureties. Now, the court presided over by Justice Daniel Mensah said one of the sureties should deposit documents of landed property within the jurisdiction. As part of the bail conditions, he is also to report to the police once a week on a day to be determined by the police. Now, Oliver Barker-Vamawo was arrested on February 11 at the Kojo International Airport and has since been in detention. He has been charged for treason felony for comments the prosecution deemed has elements of staging a coup. Now, his comments were written on Facebook. Now, I'll try to bring you more on that front. But why has he been rearrested? That is the question that seems to be on the lips of most Ghanaians this morning. Why has he been rearrested? For what? What has he done again for him to be rearrested? The police indicates that his post contained a clear statement of intent with a possible will to execute a coup in his declaration of intent to subvert the constitution of the republic. He has suggested in a Facebook post that if the e-levy was passed, I'll do the coup myself. Useless army. Interesting, he called the military that they are useless. And the other time, the statement that he made, I don't know, because of that, that's why he's been apprehended. But he didn't make a statement that he thinks that we cannot trust the military have not actually been proving themselves. Or every time they were in office, they were not seen to doing the right, because we thought that, well, these are the military and these are disciplined people and they'll be disciplined on all fronts, but they've not been able to deliver on that front. So the other post that or comment that he made a few days back pertain to that. So what has brought about his rearrested while he was on his way to the court? So now are they going to say that, well, he's been rearrested and therefore because he didn't appear in the court, so he has breached the court's order to appear before court? So will he be charged for contempt there as well? Well, we'll be following it very, very closely, and we'll tell you more on what is happening on that front. Akufo-Addo is the reason why Ghanaians now trust politicians. Paul Adumotre is saying, interesting. Paul Adumotre has claimed that Nana Akufo-Addo is the reason why Ghanaians now believe in the word of politicians. According to him, prior to this day, Ghanaians did not believe the promises of politicians because they had failed to deliver on their promise in the past. But the question is, has the president delivered on his promises that he made to the country? But according to Paul Adumotre, that cannot be said about the current president of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Now, the only reason why in 2020 promises became useless again was that Akufo-Addo was able to deliver his promise. Since 1960, politicians promise, they don't deliver. We laugh at it. They come and they say they will take the sea to Kumasi, promise all sorts of things. So we had forgotten about promises. So if you look at the 2000 election, President Akufo didn't promise because he said, I am not going to promise anything because nobody believes politicians who were promising. Now that has changed. It's changed because Akufo-Addo said, I will deliver free SHS, and he delivered it. So immediately, people know that they, as the politicians, can say something and do it. So John Mahama came in 2020 and said, Okada this, Okada that, and people were listening because Akufo-Addo had changed the dynamics of the Ghanaian politics for 30 years, he stated. He continued, do you remember one politician who promised one thing and do it? Is it Buzia, is it Liman or Rollins? They didn't do it. Akufo-Addo was the only one in that long period who promised a major social intervention, and he achieved it. Now people said he was not going to be able to do it, but he did it. So because he was able to do that, so because he was able to do that promises now come back on the table, and 2020 President Mahama is promising Akufo-Addo truly redeem the Ghanaian politicians from the laughing stock that they became with promises. Now, I don't want to know who was speaking in reaction to John Mahama's claim to repeal the electronic levy if given the nod in 2024, questioning the former president's record of delivering on his promise. So is it just trying to put a caveat in there so that when the former president comes in, he said that, well, in order to be able to be respected as a person of his word, then he has to, repeal the e-levy. Do you think that's why he's saying that? Reverse psychology? Well, he indicated that it will be prudent for the former president to show his track record to the people rather than making vague promises. Now, what about the other promise? One factory, one district, one factory, and all that community. What has happened to it? Well, these are all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, 11:42 the time, the morning show of the program. Some stories making the rounds from Ghana. Bring that your way, and then we will move on from there. There are other stories that we'll be looking at as well. But wherever you are, stay tuned and don't you go away. I stormed out naked when to me recounts losing 400 pickups, 500 excavators under Mahama. As shocking as the news of the confiscating occasion of his 400 pickups and 500 excavators was, Bernard Nchibo inadvertently walked out of the bathroom naked, the businessman has said. He had been called on the phone while taking his bath and could not believe the bad news. In fact, he tags the moment as the saddest day of his life. Now, reports suggested that the then government decision was based on suspicion of aiding some Chinese nationals to engage in illegal mining activities, affectionately called Chema Wontumi. The miner who owns Hansol Mining Limited said on the Delay show that the seizure and burning of 500 excavators and 400 pickups by the National Democratic Congress in 2013 led to the collapse of his multi-million-dollar gold mining business. In a quote, he said, I used to make $1 million a day at the height of my mining career. I had about 500 excavators, 400 pickups, he said on the show Monitored. It was, in a quote, he said, it was politically motivated. When it happened, I was in Kumasi. They seized many and burned many. We even heard that they also sent some to Cameroon. I never received even one of the 400 pickups. I never received one of the 500 excavators. I was sad when they called to inform me. I was in the bathroom. I forgot myself and left the bathroom naked and with the foam on my body. I left the bathroom reception naked. Chema Wontumi said. According to him, although it was a horrible experience, he renewed things and decided to set up again. Now, anytime we talk about this galamsey and stuff like that, we've had some of my colleagues who make a statement and say that, well, he formed the Ghana China business conglomerate or association or something of the sort. So if the then government thought that it got something to do with the Chinese and maybe you were giving land concessions to the Chinese to actually do the galamsey or whatever it is, Is that true or false? Well, he was making 1 million. But when it comes to our politics as well, in that part of the world, when there's a change of government, and you see the government, then the government coming against or after anyone who was in the former or in the past government, or sympathizer of the outside government. And when I say outside, I don't mean through a coup, but through the ballot box, through elections, the outside. Okay. Why do we behave that way? Because if you do so, can you just imagine the number of people who are going to go hungry because you destroyed all those things? But somebody will say that if they are seen or said to be perpetrating ill, where water bodies are being destroyed, what lands are being degraded, and everything that seems to be going on, then what is the way forward? So government has to do something about it. So if that is it, I mean, why government did whatever they did, fine. But when it comes to maybe just straight on, just going like what has been happening of late, where they go gun blazing, burning down excavators. And I said, these excavators, look at the roads, the deplorable roads. Look at drainage system in our part of the world. So do we use our brains? Why do we destroy all those and burn them down? For what? Is it a vendetta? Well, it's Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 13 minutes to the top of the hour. One other story from Ghana, and then we will go. Our government schemed with the judiciary to pass e-levy. That's what Muntaka is saying. A newly elected MPP constituency chair resigns to contest regional position. Ghanaians are learning their lessons after voting me out, Mahama is saying. Well, what lessons are they learning? Well, okay. Now, the member of parliament for the Aswase, Alhaji Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak, has said no member of the minority group in parliament was induced by the ruling government to facilitate the passage of the e-levy bill. He described the allegation peddled by some members within the NDC as unfortunate. Now, speaking this morning, the minority chief whip said that the NDC did not have the numbers to reject the policy on the day it was passed in Parliament. He explained when the NDC government led by the former President Jerry Rawlings proposed introduction of the VAT bill to Parliament, Ghanaians rose up against the government with Kumi Preko demonstration. Those blaming us for taking bribes, what were their role against the policy while we were fighting the policy in Parliament? Couldn't they have also demonstrated against the policy, he asked? He accused the government of conniving with the judiciary to pass the controversial bill. Now look, in the court he said, everything was schemed against us through the judiciary. Our member of Parliament from the Assin North was attending different courts. Any day the MPP plans to present the e-levy bill to Parliament. It was a clear strategy to reduce our numbers, which they succeeded with the support of the judiciary, he said. Now, what I'm further to say, now he urged NDC supporters to rally behind the party's leadership in Parliament to present the interests to represent the interests of the nation. It goes on for our party members. Some don't know the sacrifice we have made for the party in Parliament. After the election of the Speaker of Parliament, 23 of our members got COVID-19. Some went into coma for months, he disclosed. He assured the party members that they will defeat the MPP in 2024. In the quote, he said, we are winning the election 2024, but there's a lot of work to do to cement the party's victory. At the moment, the NDC formula for MPP is there. Whoever they present as flag bearer, we are ready for them. Well, so this is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Interesting. That was a statement that my colleague Frank made yesterday pertaining to the demonstrations that went on. I remember that was pertaining to a statement that one of the journalists did make. Kwesi Pratt made yesterday or the day before yesterday pertaining to the irrelevance of the NDC at the moment in Parliament. And he was saying that apart from the MPP, the MPP, when it came to the VAT, when at the time, I don't know. I don't remember if the MPP had a representation in Parliament. I don't remember that, but I think they might not, or they might. I'm not very sure what took place there. However, the protest that was on the road, the anger of the public, that was being, or championed by the then candidate Akufo-Addo, or the leader, protest leader Akufo-Addo and his crew, Kwesi Pratt, what do you call the others, Kweku Baako, and all those others who championed that particular protest. We don't see that again. And that is why some people are of the view that maybe they've been induced, that the MPs, the NDC members of parliament have been induced for them to do all those stuff to make the the MPP pass the E-levy. But he has alluded that it's all a connivance of the judiciary with the ruling government to be able to pass this E-levy. What I think about all that is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. 9 minutes to the top of the hour at a time. It is the morning show, the Tuesday edition. Remember, this afternoon exactly at 1:30, I'll be bringing you the one and only show that is from. Okay, just bear with me. My apologies, listeners. Some intrusive call coming through. Don't you worry. It's not any of my panelists, okay, or any of my contributors. No. Okay. Now, moving on to some other stories making the rounds in Ghana. Final one. Football. Over 15 House of Folk players have been hospitalized as strange disease hit the camp. Now, interestingly, Accra House of Folk have been hit with a strange disease which has left about 15 players hospitalized at different hospitals in Accra. Attacker Daniel Friye Banier, who reportedly showed symptoms of cough, cold, and malaria, was the first to be rushed to the hospital for treatment. Now, midfielder Frederick Ansah Bochwe, who also complained of similar symptoms, was also rushed to the Mamprobi Polyclinic for treatment on Sunday night. Now, other players like Nuruddin Abdulaziz were also taken ill at the Universal Clinic in the Medina, while the likes of Seidu Suraj and Amankwa Befi are also in admission at the hospital. Some other players who have not been named yet have been reported to have visited the hospital for treatment and are on medication. Now, Suleiman Tari, Samuel Inkum, and Gladson Awako have, however, not been hit with the sickness. The situation is so dire that only 5 players are reported for training on Monday, with most of the stars unable to attend training with just 2 days left for a game that is supposed to take place. Now, the situation could affect House of Folk's midweek match against BBNE Gold Stars at the Accra Sports Stadium on Wednesday. The defending champion may call for a postponement of their match due to their inability to raise enough players for the match. Although the club is yet to know the cause of the disease, it appears food poisoning might not be the reason for the mass sickness of the Hearts of Folk camp. According to reports, the hotel the team slept in might have been infested with mosquitoes. House of Folk, who used to camp at the Sun Hotel in Accra, have switched to another hotel. Is it what has caused this? Well, what are they going to do? Are they going to postpone the match, call for a postponement of the match? Because if House of Folk manage to beat the BBNE, then that means that they've won the league, right? Okay, well, not sure of the football thing that goes on in Ghana, but hey, you know, back in the day when I was in Ghana, that was my favorite team, you know, Accra House of Folk, Phobia. All right then. Well, listen, let's Starr Radio. We're going to take a break, and once we come back, we'll be looking at some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Stay tuned, and don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world in a just. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 2 minutes to the top of the hour. Now, before I bring you some music, okay? This afternoon exactly at 1:30, BB Clement will be coming your way with BB Means Business. All right? Yeah, so make a date with her. It's going to be quite an interesting program there. I'll be telling you more about what she's going to be discussing in a moment. But wherever you are, make sure exactly at 1:30 you join her on that. Then at 8 o'clock this evening, the CEO program will be coming your way with Simone Frazier. Simone Frazier will be bringing you the CEO, where she brings you various entities in various walks of life who through all odds or have made it, so you can also make it. Maybe you want to be interviewed on that program. Get in touch with us. If you email us, our email is info
at Star Radio UMIC. Drop us a mail and we will arrange for that to happen. You have a business you want it promoted, advertised, or whatever, get in touch with us on that same address as email address as well, info@starradiouk.com, and I promise you we will see to address that for you. Again, you can text or WhatsApp us on 0753966144, and I promise you get a good deal and we'll deliver on our promise. All right then, so now let's move on to some other stories. It's gone 12 o'clock, but let me announce the line and then we'll move on to some other stories making the rounds on the African continent. You want to join in the conversation? Call us on 0208-133-2257 or 58 0208-133-2257 or 58. If you happen to be in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area, it's 001-718-303-2737, 001-718-303-2737. And you can also text or WhatsApp us at 075-3966-1744, 075-3966-1744. Our Twitter handle is a Star Radio UK and email address is info@starradiouk.com. All right then. So now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds on the African continent. Now, Mali is blaming the Western nation for a failed coup attempt. Interesting. Which Western nation are they talking about there? We'll be looking into that in a moment. Are they talking about France? We'll be looking into that as well. And still in Africa, or on the African continent, 5 opposition leaders were charged and jailed on Monday in Chad for disturbing public order during the Saturday demonstration against France, accused of supporting the military junta. The N'Djamena prosecutor's office has said as well. So those couple of stories, let's pick them up and then we continue with the show. Now, Mali late on Monday announced that security forces had thwarted a counter-coup attempt that it said was supported by an unnamed Western government. The announcement was the latest turmoil to unfold in the West African nation, where Colonel Assimi Goïta led coup in 2020 and 2021 before becoming president. Now, these soldiers were supported by a Western state. Now, said government spokesperson Colonel Abdoulaye Maiga on a state television. He did not name the country in question. However, relations with the former colonizer France have deteriorated significantly under Goïta's rule. The breakdown in relations prompted the French military to begin a withdrawal of its forces that had spent 9 years fighting Islamic extremists. The government condemned with the utmost rigor this outrageous attack. Maiga said the attempt was meant to hinder or even annihilate the substantial effort to secure our country and return to constitutional order that guarantees peace and stability, he continued. Maiga said security forces had put down the coup last Wednesday night. The security was increased at checkpoint on the roads leaving the capital Bamako at the country's border in an effort to catch accomplices, he added. The accusation of foreign interference came as Goïta regime is becoming increasingly isolated. A day earlier, the government announced that Mali was dropping out of the 5-nation regional security force known as the G5. And last month, it said it was permanently suspending French media outlets Radio France International and France 24, two of the most listened to news outlets in the country. Now, Mali's government has also accused the French army of violating the country's airspace and denounced what it said was the unauthorized use of surveillance drones. Those allegations came after France released videos appearing to show Russian mercenaries burying bodies near an army base which had been handed over by the French to Malian forces. Now, France and other nations sharply condemned the August 2020 overthrow of Mali's democratically elected president Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta. 9 months later, Goïta launched a second coup when he fired the country's interim civilian leader and became president himself. Now, last month, the government said it would need 2 more years in power before it could organize vote. Well, so what do you think about that? Automatically you see that they meant it was France, because it's France that has got lots of interest there. But well, is it a good stance? Well, we our necks, I mean, we have ropes around our necks that is being pulled by this by the colonial masters, and making a do at their bidding. And now the Malians are thinking that, well, we're not going to be doing that any longer. We're not going to be, sucking whatever instructions that you are putting across, and therefore we think that it's about time we call our own fate. And by so doing, saying that, well, we need 2 more years before we can hand over to a democratically elected government. And well, whether the ECOWAS, the regional body, likes it or not, that is a stance that they've made, and then they've been ousted there, or what do you call it, from that body. But however, they are still charting their path. But for a second coup to be tempted or tried there, it's quite a worrying one. But somebody will say, well, he who lives by the sword dies by the sword. So that's the way you came in. Somebody might also try to come in the same way. But what do you think is happening there? So coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Another story. 5 opposition leaders were charged and jailed on Monday. That's a quick one there, you know. A charge for disturbing public order during Saturday's demonstration against France, accused of supporting the military junta. The N'Djamena prosecutor office has said the president, when President Idriss Deby Itno was killed more than a year ago at the front against rebels, his son General Mamat Idriss Deby Itno took over the reins of the country at the head of a group of 15 generals who were immediately endorsed by the international community, with Paris in the lead, while other coup officers were subjected to its wrath and sanctions elsewhere in Africa. Interesting. Now, is it a monarchy? Okay. Now, seven gas stations belonging to the French oil company Total were vandalized, and 12 police officers injured Saturday during an anti-French demonstration by hundreds of people in N'Djamena, according to a police official who requested anonymity. The 5 leaders of the main opposition coalition, Wakit Tama, which organized the march, were arrested in the process. Now, Ganu Jevaima Ganfari, Secretary General of the Union of Trade Unions of Chad, Yusuf Korom Amat, Secretary General of the Chaldean Merchants Supplies Union, Massa Hessin Massa, President of the Gathering of Civil Society Leaders, Kaude Imbainazm, who is President of the Association for Freedom of Expression, and Alamin Abdul Kater, former ambassador, were charged with gathering, causing public disorder, attacking the physical integrity of people, arson and destruction of property, placed under arrest warrant, and incarcerated in the prison of Klesum in the capital. Now, said Monday evening to AFP, Musa Wade Jibrin, a prosecutor at the court of first instance in N'Djamena. Now, Wakit Tama considers that they were wrongly arrested for acts of vandalism committed by others on the sidelines or after its demonstration, and demands their immediate release. Now, several opposition parties and rebel movements are also demanding their release. Now, what happened yesterday is extremely serious. Now, people will answer for their action. One Communication Minister, Abdurrahman Kulamala, on Sunday evening. They go on further to say the junta dissolved parliament, dismissed the government, and abrogated the constitution when it announced the death of Idris Deby on April 20, 2021, but immediately promised free and democratic elections within 18 months at the end of national reconciliation dialogue. Now, since then, this forum, which according to the head of states should bring together all political and armed opposition groups, has not been able to get off the ground, as the armed groups have not been able to reach an agreement with the junta in the pre-dialogue in Doha, and the political opposition has withdrawn from its organization. So what is going to happen in Chad? Well, on one foot, we have the French saying that, well, Mali is not doing what they want, and therefore they are withdrawing their troops, and culminating whether they are the ones behind this attempted coup d'etat in Mali. And then on the other hand, when these people took over after Idris Deby's death, his son, who has now become general and he's become the head, the thing is, it's not a monarchy. A true heritage. So I'm the son of this, so I have to become the president. Well, maybe that's what they have established there. But at times I ask myself the question: if it's working for them, why not? But is it written out as fairly? Well, at times you need a strong hand, a strong man to weld and move people to a particular point. So maybe that's what is going to happen there. Well, it is all Starr Radio UK. 11 minutes past 12 the time. The morning show, the program. I am Archie. Okay. Well, before we take another break and then we come on one other story from the African continent. Explosion goes off near northern Nigeria primary school. That is breaking story that is making the rounds now. Explosion has gone off near a northern Nigeria primary school. Details are unclear, but several school children are thought to have been affected. That is breaking story or news coming through, so don't you go away. Fighting for the Kikuyu vote in Kenya's election. It says that Kenya's leading presidential candidate have chosen running mates from the biggest ethnic group. Who are they? Let me bring that your way. Two leading candidates in Kenya's presidential election have chosen running mates from the vote-rich Kikuyu ethnic group to bolster their chances of winning August's much anticipated poll. The Deputy President William Ruto has picked businessman Rigathi Gachagua, while former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has also settled for former Justice Minister Martha Karuna. The two are worlds apart, save for the fact that they come from the Mount Kenyan region. Analysts have said the Mount Kenyan region is home to the Kikuyu community, the support of which could be vital to determining the outcome of the election. Mr. Gachagua is a strong mobilizer and has the ear of struggling Kikuyus who have been backing Mr. Ruto over his plans to address economic grievances. Now, Ms. Karua is a political icon beyond the Kikuyu and is known for her passion for judicial reform and campaigns against corruption. Analysts say that while the intellectual elite might go for the avid anti-corruption campaigner, this election is mostly about economic reforms. Now, both sides are tainted by corruption allegation, and that is why none is pointing fingers. Corruption is no longer an issue. It seems to be our way of life, and it has become hard to show a strong leader who is not tainted by corruption. Interestingly, Mr. Gachagua is facing charges of corruption and money laundering worth $63 million. He denies the charges and says he is being persecuted by the state for supporting Mr. Ruto. And outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta is supporting Mr. Odinga, with whom he famously shook hands in 2018 to signal that they had reconciled after years of political acrimony. Now, analysts say that since then, Mr. Odinga, a veteran opposition leader who has failed in 4 previous attempts to win the presidency, has largely ignored all the rot in government. His choice of Ms. Karua as running mate is also an attempt to win the female vote, but Mr. Bigambo is not sure how successful she will be. She appeals to the women academically and not practically. She only appeals to part of the middle class and the NGO community who do not have a strong bearing on the election's outcome, Mr. Bigambo has said. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. One other story from the African front, one that I picked up. Let me see the development on that pertaining to school children are thought to have been affected. Nigeria's federal, that's pertaining to Nigeria. We'll bring you more as we know. No more from there. The Democratic Republic of Congo will on Tuesday, that's today, mark the 25 years since the collapse of the authoritarian rule of Mobutu Sese Seko. Mr. Mobutu ruled DR Congo, then Zaire, for more than 30 years, but fled the capital Kinshasa on the eve of the 17th of May 1997 as rebel troops advanced on the city. The then rebel leader Laurent Kabila seized power and renamed the country the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mobutu died later that year in exile in Morocco, where he was buried. In 2013, President Joseph Kabila said the government will repatriate the body, but no action followed the announcement. Mobutu's critics accuse him of being ruthless, a ruthless and corrupt ruler who crushed internal dissent and plundered DR Congo mineral resources. The 17th of May is now a national holiday when the country celebrates its armed forces. A parade is due to take place in Kinshasa to mark the day. That brings us to the end of the stories making the rounds on the African continent. But like the Nigerian story that is developing, as and when we have more of it, I'll bring your way. Explosion goes off near northern Nigeria primary school. School children are thought to have been affected. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We'll be going to other parts of the world, but enjoy this music. This is from Atongo Zimba. It's a No Beer in Heaven. Enjoy it. I'll be with you.
Living in the world, my brother, living in the world, my sister. But you live in this world, you living in the world, my mama. Some are really gonna hate you, some are really gonna love you, and some are really gonna hate you. Yeah, we don't wanna kanga, we don't wanna kanga, but for now you're the ballet. Yeah, we don't wanna go on, yeah, we don't wanna kanga, yeah, we don't wanna kanga, living in the world, my sister. Some are really gonna love you, and some are really gonna hate you. Yeah, we don't wanna kanga, there is no beer. That is why we be drinking all the beer. For when will the going right to heaven? All our friends will be drinking all the beer. Hey, 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 hey. We don't wanna know about the kanga. Yeah, we don't wanna.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
There is no beer. That is why we be drinking all the beer. For when will the going right to heaven? All our friends will be drinking all the beer. Hey, 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 hey.
work,
At home.
on your smartphone.
There is no beer. That is why we be drinking all the beer. For when we'll be going right to heaven, all my friends will be drinking all the beer. Hey, hey, hey. You living in
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. The time now 12:21 from the Hearts of London. The lines are open. If you want to join in conversation and any pick at all, you can pick it and then you can talk about it, and then you go. Another person comes on as well. But remember, this afternoon exactly at 1:30, we'll be having the one and only BB Clement bringing you BB Means Business. But a special announcement before we continue with the other stories making the rounds, and this pertains to the woman to woman conference that is going to be taking place on Saturday, that is the 21st. Okay, so let me bring you the details. Let me pull up the details and put it your way. Let me on that note say good afternoon to Pastor Annette Hercules. Pastor Annette, I hope you are doing very, very well. Well, so that is information for you. The host pastor, Pastor Annette Hercules, is inviting every woman to woman administration. They're going to be having a guest speaker, Ray French. The guest speaker is going to be Ray French, the Building Blocks for Business Forum. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness. Proverbs chapter 31, verses 25 to 26. Now, free admission donation of £5 appreciated. Open to all. Invite your friends and family and colleagues. The date is once again Saturday, the 21st of May, 2022. The time 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. The address is Fulham United Reformed Church, 472-480 Fulham Palace Road, London. The postcode SW66HY. SW66HY. So make it a point to attend the women to women ministry. Okay then, if you want to contact Pastor Annette Hercules, the contact number is 078 08 807151. 078 08 807151, and you can be part of that program. So stay tuned, don't you go away. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, now let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world, as I have said. Now, the Buffalo gunman planned a second attack. That's what the police are saying in the U.S. A gunman who killed 10 people at the supermarket in Buffalo, New York, planned further attacks after the mass shooting on Saturday. Police have said the suspect, 18, drove more than 320 kilometers, that's 200 miles, to carry out what is believed to be a racially motivated crime. He planned to keep driving and shoot more black people. Buffalo Police Chief told U.S. media. A pensioner, a former policeman, and a grandmother were among the victims. Now, Mayor Byron Brown said the suspect arrived in Buffalo intending to take
as many black lives as possible. A 180-page document seemingly authored by the alleged attacker Peyton Gendron has emerged, in which he described himself as a fascist and a white supremacist. Now, questions are being asked about how he was able to carry out the shooting when concerns had already been raised. I want to know what people knew and when they knew. New York Governor Kathy Hochul said the FBI officials have confirmed that the gunman spent a day and a half in hospital undergoing a mental health evaluation last year after he wrote that he wanted to commit murder-suicide in a high school project. Now, no criminal charges resulted from the incident, and Buffalo Police Chief Joseph Gramglia told reporters the gunman had only made generalized threats. He does not appear to have remained under watch by authorities. Mr. Gramglia said to U.S. media that there was evidence to suggest he wanted to target a second store on Saturday if he had not been stopped. On Monday, police said he had visited Buffalo in March and then again one day before the deadly mass shooting. Evil. Meanwhile, the gun store owner who sold the semi-automatic used in the attack told several U.S. outlets that no alert came up when he ran the suspect's name through a government background check system. Interesting. Now, New York's Attorney General Letitia James said her office will focus on extremist material online. Now, this event was committed by a sick, demented individual who was fueled by daily diet of hate, she said. The shooting has stunned the local community. One of those attending the vigil on Sunday told Reuters, "It just hurts why somebody would do that." 10 died and 3 others were injured. Of the 13 people shot, 11 were black. Among those reported killed were a man buying cupcakes. Of the 13 people shot, 11 were black. Among those reported killed were a man buying cupcakes for his son's birthday and a woman who had gone shopping after visiting her husband at a nursing home. This is all coming away from Starr Radio UK with some of the news making the rounds across the globe. Don't you go away. Now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds. The time now is 12:28. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now moving on straight to some other stories that is making the rounds still in the U.S. front. Now, President Biden has reversed Trump's withdrawal of U.S. troops, and I'm asking the question: is it going to be something that if Trump, let's say in the next election, because it looks like the Republicans might not have any person to challenge Joe Biden, and therefore there's a tendency that Trump will come back. Now, so if Trump comes back, is he going to repeal that act again and then bring them back? U.S. officials say President Biden has approved the redeployment of U.S. troops in Somalia, reversing a decision by his predecessor Donald Trump. The deployment was requested by the Pentagon to support the fight against militia group Al-Shabaab. Now, President Trump withdrew about 700 U.S. troops from Somalia in 2020. The move to re-establish military presence in the East African country comes as long overdue elections delivered a new president. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, a former peace activist, promised to work closely with international partners as he took office on Monday. Somalia has suffered from decades of chronic insecurity, and the Islamic militants who once controlled the country still hold large swaths of it and continue to collect taxes in places. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. One final story from the US front and then we go on. And that pertains to the easing of restrictions in Cuba. It seems that story has eluded me, but just bear with me. For the last time, let me see whether I can come by it I think it's eluded me. Okay, let me bring you one other from US, pertaining to US, but from Russia as well. The American basketball star Brittany Griner pre-trial detention in Russia has been extended for 1 month. Now, Miss Griner, 31, has been in custody since February after Moscow airport officials allegedly found cannabis oil in her luggage. Now, while she was returning to the US after playing in Russia. Now, US officials said she was wrongfully imprisoned and should be released. Now, Miss Griner, regarded as one of the world's best female players, faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted. An Associated Press photograph shows Ms. Griner wearing an orange hoodie and looking down at the court hearing held in the city of Khmelnytskyi, just outside Moscow. The U.S. State Department said a consular official attended the hearing and spoke to Ms. Griner on the margins. Now, a spokesman said Ms. Griner was doing as well as can be expected during exceedingly difficult circumstances. Following the hearing, her lawyers told the AP that Ms. Griner hadn't conveyed any complaints about the detention conditions. Now, citing unnamed government officials, state-owned Russian news agency TASS is reported that Russia hopes to trade Ms. Griner for Victor Bout, an arms trafficker convicted in the U.S. Popularly known as the Merchant of Death. Bout was arrested in Thailand in 2008 and extradited to the U.S., where he was convicted of intending to smuggle weapons to rebels in Colombia to be used against the U.S. citizens. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison in New York in April 2012. Well, so maybe a prisoner swap would do it, wouldn't it? It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, in the Latin American area, okay, yes, I've got the Cuban story that is making the headlines. Now, U.S. officials have announced plans to ease tough sanctions imposed on Cuba by former President Donald Trump, and the new measures approved by Biden administration, restrictions on family remittances and travel to the island will be eased. The processing of U.S. visas for Cubans will also be speeded up. Now, State Department spokesman Ned Price said the move will allow Cuban citizens to pursue a life free from government oppression. The loosening of sanctions will see a cap on family remittances, funds sent by migrants in the U.S. to family members in Cuba, removed. Now, previously, migrants were prevented from sending more than $1,000 or 811 pounds every 3 months. Donation to non-family members will also be permitted under the new plans, but U.S. officials emphasize that they will seek to ensure such payments don't reach those who perpetrate human rights abuses by using civilian electronic payment processor. Now, they also said that no bodies will be removed from the Cuban restricted list. A State Department register of companies linked to the communist government in Havana with whom U.S. citizens are barred from doing business. Well, these are all coming your way from U.S. with love. But it's all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 12:34. Okay. Let's move on to other parts of the world. We'll be coming to Europe pretty soon, but let's touch on some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world first. Now, Sri Lanka down to last day of petrol. That's what the new Prime Minister is saying, and that is quite scary, isn't it? Well, the story says that Sri Lanka's new Prime Minister says the country is down to its last day of petrol as it faces its worst economic crisis in more than 70 years. In a televised address, Ranil Wickremesinghe, okay, I hope I pronounced it well, said the nation urgently needs $75 million of foreign currency in the next few days to pay for essential imports. He said the central bank would have to print money to pay government wages. Why? goodness, inflation. Now, Mr. Rikin Singh also said that state-owned Sri Lankan airlines may be privatized. The island nation economy have been hit hard by the pandemic, rising energy prices, and populace tax cuts. A chronic shortage of foreign currency and soaring inflation have led to severe shortage of medicines, fuel, and other essentials. Ravindo Pereira, who lives in the capital Colombo, said he and his family had begun searching for fuel before daybreak on Monday. Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 12:36, and let's take a quick break. We come back and I bring you to some of the stories making the rounds in Europe as well. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my matchless Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The hole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world in a just. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Welcome back to the program once again. For some announcement, Pastor Annette Hercules want to invite all women to women and to all the men as well. And this time around, he's going to be having as a guest speaker Ray French. Okay, and they'll be looking at building blocks for business forum. Okay, this event takes place on Saturday, the 21st of May, 2022. Free admission. You can donate £5. £5, it will be appreciated. Open to all. Invite your friends, family, and colleagues. The date, once again, 21st of May 2022. The time 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. The address is Fulham United Reformed Church, 472 to 480 Fulham Palace Road, London, SW6 6HY. Make a date with them. It's taking place this Saturday. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She laughs without fear of the future. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 25 to 26. That is the code for the day. Let me say once again, good afternoon to Pastor Annette Hercules. All right then. So now let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds before we bring the program to a close. And as I've announced this afternoon, exactly exactly at 1:30. I'm bringing you BB Means Business with BB Clement. So make a date with her. All right then. So now let's crack on to the rest of the stories making the rounds and looking at what is happening here in the UK, in Europe. Now, Northern Ireland trusts to set out plans on post-Brexit trade deal. That's one of the stories making the round. Now, Foreign Secretary Liz Truss is to set out the UK's government strategy for changing the post-Brexit trade deal for Northern Ireland. Now, Prime Minister Boris Johnson said an insurance policy was needed to fix the deal on how goods enter Northern Ireland from the UK. He agreed that the deal with the European Union in 2019 after the Brexit vote, but a row over its impact on trade has created a block on forming a devolved government in the Northern Ireland. The deal, known as the Protocol, is a special arrangement that keeps Northern Ireland aligned with the EU's single market for goods, avoiding a hard border with the Republic of Ireland. The arrangement ensured free trade could continue across the Irish land border, which is a sensitive issue because of the history of conflict in Northern Ireland. But the protocol brought in some new checks on goods moving between Great Britain and the Northern Ireland, and has been criticized by unionist politicians since its introduction in 2021. Elections to Northern Ireland Assembly on the 5th of May resulted in a majority of politicians who accept the protocol, including the new largest party, Sinn Féin. But the Democratic Unionists have refused to join Northern Ireland Power Sharing Administration until their objection to the protocol are dealt with. Now, Sinn Féin said the UK government was letting the DUP hold society to ransom after Mr. Johnson met all political parties in Northern Ireland. Yesterday, if you watch the convoy of Mr. Mr. Johnson to that part of the world of Northern Ireland, you see hooting going on and people demonstrating, placards and various things going on who were not in favor of what was happening. But how would it all pan out now with what is going on? Well, it's all Star Radio UK, and it's your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. What is the way forward? Are we going to get back to that same old where there's going to be all this blast and all this unrest in that part of the world? What do you think is going to happen? It is Star Radio UK. Well, in Europe still, Turkey is saying that, we have the power to block Finland and Sweden from joining NATO. How true is that? Now, Turkey's president has restated his position to Finland and Sweden joining NATO just hours after they said they will seek membership. Now, Recep Tayyip Erdogan said the two Nordic nations should not bother sending delegation to convince Turkey, a key NATO member, of their bids. He is angered by what he sees as their willingness to host Kurdish militants. Now, without the support of all NATO members, Sweden and Finland cannot join the military alliance. So on Monday, Sweden said Europe was living in a dangerous new reality, referring to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now, Russian President Vladimir Putin said the move by Finland and Sweden to join the 30-member military alliance did not threaten Moscow directly, but stressed that any expansion of military infrastructure will trigger a response from the Kremlin. At a news conference on Monday, Mr. Erdogan said Turkey opposed the Finnish and Swedish bids to join NATO, describing Sweden as a hatchery of a terrorist organization. Now, neither of these countries have a clear, open attitude towards terrorist organization. How can we trust them? The Turkish president said. Now, Turkey accuses the two Nordic nations of harboring members of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, the PKK, a group it views as terrorist organization, and followers of Fethullah Gulen, who Ankara accuses of orchestrating a 2016 coup attempt. All member states must agree that a new country can join NATO. Therefore, Sweden and Finland require Turkey's support in their bid to join the military alliance. Mr. Erdogan said Swedish and Finnish delegations should not bother. They should not bother going to Ankara, Turkey's capital, to convince it to approve their NATO bid. His government has also pledged to block application from countries that have imposed sanctions on it. In 2019, Nordic nations slapped an arms embargo on Ankara after its incursion into Syria. Now, speaking in Parliament in Helsinki on Monday, Finnish Foreign Minister Pekka Haavisto said he was surprised by Turkey's stance, but added that his government has not interested in the bargaining with Mr. Erdogan. Now, Finland formally announced its bid to join NATO last week. It was joined by neighbor Sweden on Saturday in a move that will end the Scandinavian country's centuries-long military non-alignment. Now, NATO will strengthen Sweden. Sweden will strengthen NATO. Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson said at a briefing on Monday. Now, she said Europe was now living in a dangerous new reality, referring to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. We are leaving one era behind us and entering a new one, as Ms. Anderson told lawmakers during a debate in Stockholm also on Monday. She said a formal application could be handed in within several days and will be synchronized with Finland. NATO has signaled its willingness to admit the two new members. But what is going to happen now that we know that Turkey is saying no way, no way? What is going to happen there? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, a new French Prime Minister is encouraging girls to pursue their dreams. And what does she mean by that? Because we think that we live in a society where when it comes to child education, it's pushed to, virtually everybody has the opportunity. But France's Prime Minister, Elizabeth Borne, is the first woman to hold a job in more than 30 years and says she hopes to inspire young girls. He said, I want to dedicate my nomination to all little girls and tell them to go all the way pursuing your dreams, she said in her inauguration speech. The engineer, 61, has been described as a left-wing technocrat. She served most recently as Labour Minister under President Emmanuel Macron. Now, France has a general election in June, but the uncertainties of the 12 to 19 June parliamentary election raise a question mark over the length of Ms. Borne's tenure, and under French system, the president's powers considerably outweighs the prime minister's. A powerful leftist Green alliance led by Jean-Luc Mélenchon will challenge the president's centrist party next month, and some speculate that the veteran left-winger could become prime minister. Ms. Borne has detailed experience of key green and social policy issues. She served previously as transport minister and ecological transition minister. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. And finally, in the UK, let's look at some of the stories making their rounds there. Now, job vacancies outpace unemployment is one of the stories making the rounds, and warning over shrinking school meals as price rises. Well, they try to serve them, but they are shrinking it. Okay, let me bring you this one, the story first. Now, Queen Elizabeth, the Elizabeth line, Queen makes surprise visit to Paddington Station, where a line has been named after her. The Queen is making a surprise visit to Paddington Station to see the completed Elizabeth line. Now, Transport for London has announced that the delayed Crossrail projects will open to the public on the 24th of May. Ahead of the opening, the 96-year-old joined her youngest son, the Earl of Wessex, for the official visit. The longest reigning head of state is just over 2 weeks away from her Platinum Jubilee's celebratory weekend to celebrate the 70 years as a monarch. A Buckingham Palace spokesperson said, in a happy development, Her Majesty the Queen is attending today's event to mark the completion of the Elizabeth line. Her Majesty was aware of the engagement and organizers were informed of the possibility she may attend. Well, I have pictures here showing her unveiling the plaque of the line, okay, and others where she's trying to use the ticket machine as well. The Queen rallied to make a trip to the Windsor Horse Show on Friday and on Sunday was the guest of honor at the equestrian extravaganza, a gallop through history near Windsor, the first major event of the Jubilee festivities. Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, job vacancies outpaces unemployment for the first time. Now, the story is making the rounds there. There are some job vacancies, more job vacancies than unemployed people in the UK for the first time since records began. The unemployment rate fell to 3.7% between January and March. It's lowest for almost 50 years as job opening rose to a new high of 1.3 million. However, wages excluding bonuses failed to keep pace with rising prices, a problem expected to intensify because of growing food and fuel costs. The figures show a mixed picture, said the Office of for National Statistics. Ben Harrison, director of the Work Foundation think tank at Lancaster University, said despite unemployment continuing to rise, today's figures underline the challenges facing workers who are seeing inflation eat away at their living standards. The data showed that there was a rise in the number of people moving from economic inactivity, classed as those aged 16 to 64 who haven't been working or seeking a job, into employment. At the same time, people moving from job to job also reached a record high, driven by resignation rather than dismissal, said the ONS. Total employment, while went up on the quarter, remains below its pre-pandemic level, said Darren Morgan, director of economic statistics of the ANS. Now, since the start of the pandemic, around 500,000 people have been completely disengaged from the labor market, he added. However, job vacancies are still rising, reaching yet another record high. The situation is a nightmare, said Bardi Love, who, along with his ex-wife Kate, runs the Flying Fish pub, restaurant and hotel in Somerset. Mr. Love said it has taken him 6 weeks and £2,000 worth of job adverts to find a new chef for his kitchen. And in the end, it was word of mouth that delivered the right candidate rather than any advertisement. Well, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. One final story, and then we bring the program to a close. While school caterers could be forced to serve smaller portions or use cheaper ingredients due to rising prices, a major food wholesaler has warned. Andrew Selly, boss of Bidfood, said caterers will face difficult decisions as inflation soars. The warning comes after Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey said food prices rises were a major worry. However, Marks and Spencer chairman said he expected the sharp rate at which prices were rising to be temporary. I do think it's important to say before we get too panicked, most of the inflation is probably transitory. Archie Norman said today as well. Now, food prices have surged in recent months as the pandemic and war in Ukraine have driven up the cost of energy, shipping, and raw materials. Bidford's Mr. Selly said all of the inputs into the food supply chain had increased over the past 9 months, putting pressure on the firm, which caters to organizations such as schools, hospitals, and NHS trusts across the UK. All right then, so this is where I bring all the stories to an end. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And let me say thank you very much to each and every one of you for joining us today on the morning show. Tomorrow, God willing, we'll bring you another edition of the morning show. But as I've announced, this afternoon exactly at 1:30, we'll be having the one and only BB Clement on BB Means Business. And as I said earlier on, I'll be telling you more about what she will be looking at today. And today, let me bring you that topic. Yes. You just have to just stay tuned. Money quiz featuring so it's going to be a money quiz program, so make sure you make a date with them when they come your way as well. Yes, it is All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And then this evening exactly at 8 o'clock we'll be having Simon Frazier. I'll bring you the CEO program. But after all that, there'll be lots of music for you to make your day. A sunny day out there, but hey, make hay while the sun shines. This evening, the rain is going to come back again. But it's All Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in. Let's take a commercial break, and once that ends, I'll bring you my last music, and that will be the end of the show. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry, be happy.